The Last Cube, developed and published by Improx Games, is a tough but enjoyable cube-based puzzler that some might find a little too linear and rigid in design. Unexpectedly, there's a large amount of lore for a game about a cube traversing a cubic world. It's all optional and buried in text logs, which are unlocked by finding secrets in each zone, but this narrative layer provides context for those who want it. The cube, newly forged and given life by ancient relics, must restore a six-sided cube planet. Each side represents both a natural element, think water, fire, earth or light, and an associated state of mindness, like calmness or passion. The cube needs to complete each challenge and find enlightenment before joining cube society. The narrative premise is weird, but it was also intriguing enough to keep me focused on secret hunting throughout. Of course, the primary draw of The Last Cube is the puzzles. Many basics, such as rolling around or lining up to activate a switch, are either simple or assisted, so as not to waste your time on the repetitive elements. As an example, if you've got the appropriate sticker, something I'll discuss more in a bit, you have the option to use Cube Sense. This reveals the correct path that will result in the right surface of your cube coming in contact with the switch. This might seem a little excessive for a game focused on three-dimensional puzzles, but The Last Cube has more interesting ways to challenge you. A central hub provides access to the six sides of the cube planet, each with 3 named zones that hint at the puzzle focus in each one, but you tackle them sequentially, the order dictated by the developers and their evolving puzzles. Each location introduces a new sticker that you can imprint on any side of your cube. These provide new abilities, beyond simply triggering complementary switches, that include rotating on the spot, dashing under low barriers, moving diagonally on the edge of your cube, or creating a clone cube, which can, of course, in turn, imprint and transfer stickers and use their respective abilities in tandem with your primary cube. The puzzles start simple, both conceptually and in complexity, as you aim to match stickers with switches, opening the way forward. Now that basic structure persists, but getting the right sticker, or stickers, onto your cube and then getting back to the switch becomes a challenge, thanks to increasingly devious, multi-part obstacles you must circumvent. There are, as an example, water puddles that erase stickers on any side that come into contact, traps that erase all stickers on the cube when you move through them, blocks that require the right ability to destroy, and light beam triggered switches, bridges and lifts, and that's all within the first half of the game. As you progress, simple spatial puzzles evolve into convoluted roadblocks that require an exact sequence of actions to overcome. Early puzzles might simply demand you plan your movement to avoid erasing a sticker on the way to a switch. Subsequent puzzles introduce intermediate steps, like secondary switches that force you to juggle multiple abilities. Push on, and you'll find yourself sending out a clone to acquire a sticker, copy it onto an automated cube running along a track, toggling switches to route the cube back to you, transferring that sticker onto another clone, and then finally transferring it to yourself in order to make progress. Now, if you're a fan of these games, that last paragraph should be all the knowledge you need. If, however, you're on the fence, there is an important caveat to consider. Despite the ever-expanding set of abilities and increasing complexity, puzzles on The Last Cube only have one correct solution, and you complete them in a linear order. Sure, there are some optional activities, like hunting for secrets in each zone and tackling bonus stages, but the bulk of your playtime is a methodical experience, with no room for creative solutions. On the upside, even if progress feels one note, the presentation does a great job of injecting diversity. Each zone superimposes distinctly artificial, cubic constructions with natural backdrops to great effect. The first water-themed zone uses various shades of blue, a watery backdrop, and channels a cold but calm atmosphere. In contrast, the trip through the forge offers deep reds, a radiant, fiery magma backdrop, and a very tense atmosphere. Now, the visuals may not be the most technically advanced, albeit the particle effects do look cool, but they do a solid job of creating striking and surreal environments, especially when coupled with a fantastic, albeit often subdued electronic soundtrack. That said, the camera could be particularly twitchy whenever you moved into an enclosed space, something that was rare, but notable if you were secret hunting. Unfortunately, and this may just be limited to the Xbox Series S version, The Last Cube had a persistent and frustrating technical issue. Whenever I made any significant progress, think transitioning into a new puzzle area or collecting a secret, the game would freeze up for 2 to 3 seconds. It never occurred within a discrete puzzle area, and had no major gameplay implications, but it ruined the fluidity of the experience. Given the limited visual complexity, otherwise flawless performance, and tiny install size at 2 GB, I'm assuming it might be an autosave bug or something similar. given that my technical issues are probably hardware specific, the last cube is easy to recommend to those that enjoy methodically tackling a sequence of increasingly complex puzzles. Sure, it's strictly linear, and progression begins to feel formulaic, but the puzzles are still smartly designed. They can always be solved through simple observation, and they provide you with a real sense of satisfaction when you finally figure them out.